Hey, ¿qué onda, güey?
What's up, guys? On this video, I'm gonna show you how to do an input shaft on this SRT. So it's not the input shaft on the way to the track. So I'm gonna do the input shaft with the transmission still in the car, and I'm gonna show you how you can do it without having to drop the whole transmission. As long as your clutch and everything else is good, I'm gonna show you how to pull it out, pull the piece that broke off on the clutch, and then I'm gonna show you how to line it up again so you don't have to drop it at all, and then you can do everything in the car a lot easier, a lot faster. So here's that new input shaft. So this one should be pretty good, no stress mark. Then also I'm gonna be doing this one right here. That one is gonna have a Liberty input shaft with first and second straight cut. I'm gonna show you how to do that one also. So I'm gonna start on this one. I'm gonna show you how to do it in the car. Then after it's done, we jump on the other one and I'll show you how to do that. On this one, we're gonna have to remove the shift plate first. That one right there. If you can find a little stubby like this, 13, this thing works really good. You can put it on the bolt on the bottom of the arm, which is gonna be the last bolt we're gonna take. And that will lift it up, and then you can take it off and go from there. So let's get to it. All right, guys, let's take this plate off. These ones are aftermarket shifter bushing, so they have a little lock. OEM ones or modern performance ones, you just pull them out. They don't have a clip. So that's the only difference. And this one also has two, one on top, one on the bottom, to make it pretty tight. Take that one out. All right, so now we can take the shifter plate. All right, guys, again, I went ahead and took the strut bar so you can see a little bit better. So this is what I was talking about, using this one. It's right under the transmission mount. You can always take the bolt and drop it, but you can always do it like this. So if you don't have one of these, just get a regular one and, you know, take it off. This one works pretty good. So let's take the plate off. All right, so those two, they're always the hard ones. You got one under here and one under the ABS. That one, I found a way to do it easier with a 1/4 inch ratchet, an extension, and a 13 socket. So what you do is you put your 13 socket, and then you put your extension through here like that. Move the harness a little bit out of the way.
And man, you can do it like this a lot easier. There you go. Now let's take 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Now we only have that one right there. So we're gonna use this thing. You wanna put it on neutral, just lift it up a little bit, slide it in, and that's it. So then just spray on the other side. Like that. Keep going until it comes out. I think that's it. Get it out with this whole thing. It's pretty good. Oh, I think this one had a play. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a lot of play in this. We're gonna be checking that extended. All right, so the plate is off. Now you can see all the gears and everything in there. So now let's drain it and remove it. All right, now let's drain the transmission. You're gonna need a 8mm Allen so you can remove the plug and drain it. So the plug is right here. Right here. Take it off. There you go. In the meantime, let's get some tools. All right. So we got a 15, we got a 13 already over here, and the impact. This one. So now you got 13mm bolts all the way around the outer housing. So we're gonna take those off, and then we have one in the bottom right there. That one. That's a 15. So we're gonna remove all those bolts. Go. There's that. Now let's get the one on the bottom. All right, now that you got all the bolts out and the one on the bottom, use like an extension and a 15 socket, and you're gonna put it right here on the cut. Let's see if I can get it. I'm gonna put it right here and just gonna pry on it like that to make the transmission break loose. Then let's see if we can get a little more. That's it. All right, so now Double check and make sure that your reverse is unplugged. There you go. Now it's ready to come out. So it's a lot easier if you put the wheel like that. You have a little more room. I have less room because I got the battery right here and got a little plate, but it should come out. So now just pull it. Make sure your slave cylinder line is not on the way. Just keep coming. That's it. Just grab it like that. And the whole transmission is out. There you go. I don't know if you can see, but all the way on there, you know what? Let me get a paper towel so I can point you out. But inside there, cover everything up, is the input shaft. I don't know if you can see, but it's off center and the piece is broken inside the clutch disc. So on this case, you're gonna need somebody to press the clutch, and then we're gonna guide it with like a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver long, release the clutch, get a center, and then pull the piece out. So let's try that out. All right guys, since I don't have nobody to help me, it's kind of late, my wife's already asleep. I use the jack handle to press the clutch, and I use this pick to go all the way through and to get the disc pretty much lined up. You can't really see, but it's right there, lined up. So now what I'm gonna do is release the clutch so it can hold the disc in place like that. Then I can remove the pick. Pretty much center. So you can go to O'Reilly's, Harbor Freight, AutoZone, whatever, and buy one of these or this magnet. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it through here and try to break that thing loose. All right guys, this input shaft with the whatever's stuck in there, it was really tight. So I got this thing to kind of break it loose, and I'm gonna show you. You put the magnet through it, get it, just bring it all the way, and voila. So now, you know, this thing goes here somewhere. Now what we're gonna do is, before putting the input shaft and everything, we're gonna use the input shaft as a guide to make sure we complete center. Also, be careful. Let me move this flashlight. Be careful with this gasket because it's a bearing and also a gasket. So make sure you don't damage that one. If not, you're gonna have a lot of fluid leaking through the front. So see how the input shaft is not going all the way in, it's because it's not complete center. So we're gonna do the same thing again. The input shaft should hold it. I'm gonna put this thing down. Hold it here somewhat. Then, boom, there you go. So now, you know it's pretty much lined up. Then it's ready to go. Come over here and release it. Again, you can have another person here helping you. Makes it a lot easier. This is the first time I do it like this, but it works. If you're by yourself, take it out and confirm that it's lined up. So now we can go ahead and put this new one in the transmission and then put it back. All right guys, this is the second transmission. I already got it all apart. So I noticed on the other video you couldn't see what I was doing, so you're gonna have to take that ring right there, just like a little punch, put it sideways, just hit it with a hammer. That, because you're gonna need this to put on the new input shaft. Let me show you what my friend Tony bought
from Liberty gears. Look at that. So fucking nice. This is a 1-inch 23 spline input shaft with first and second straight cut. And that's a P-Works carbon clip, I guess, for third. Let's install this on the new input shaft and then press it in. So, you need to be really careful what you put this on. Okay, well, this is different. I guess Liberty transmission makes it easier for you. You slide it in. Some other billet input shaft, you have to like actually hammer it in, but this one, yeah, it's flush, so that's good. All right, let's put the billet input shaft together. So what I was saying, this one, you know, you can just open it up and put it on. So we're gonna put this for third gear. Like I say, always make sure you got the ring right here, because if not, you're gonna damage the third gear or the input shaft, or it's not gonna work well. Then you put your third gear in here. Then you have your blocker ring, which they're pretty good. They look pretty new. And then you're gonna have your synchro. So whenever you put this on, you have a cut right there and a cut right here, and you're gonna line it up with the hose. If not, you're gonna burn the blocker ring. So that's why they say not to use silicone, because silicone goes through here and then they plug out the hose, and then you pretty much burn all the synchros, and then you have to buy new ones. The easiest way is to do it on this one, because you can guide it through here and it makes it a lot easier. So you just go like this. Okay, so I was saying, you can see the cut right there, lines up with this hole. So that means the second hole is lined up, and then the stock input shaft will have another one on this side. But you want to make sure that one of the cuts on the synchro hub lines up. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but you can see the opening right there. So this hole lined up with the other one, so you know it's good. And then you want to line up your blocker ring to the hole, and then you're good to go. So that's third gear, blocker, synchro hub, and synchro slider. Now, let's get the P-Works clip on here. Oh, you can tell. It's really nice. This is the P-Works. This is the OEM one. It's a little bit thicker. It looks like, you know, stronger. So let's put this one on. And by the way, you can buy these pliers at O'Reilly's. They're pretty cheap. Gonna walk it down. Make sure it's all the way in. Like that. You don't want to hit it too hard, because then you can damage the input shaft. So now this is fourth gear bearing. This one will not come apart like third, but you can extend it a little bit. Slide it in. Then you put your blocker. And if you put in new synchros, or if you're using any of the other synchros that they sell out there, make sure you put some oil in there. This one's already have some oil, so make sure you put some oil so they don't, you know, they're not dry when you turn it on, and then you can damage it. Then you put your fourth gear like that. While I was doing this, one of my friends came and dropped off his other cart, and we're gonna be working on this one too here pretty soon. It's pretty fucking clean. So FBR ones, carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber trunk. He's waiting on the carbon fiber fenders. Pretty clean car. So yeah, we're gonna do some work on that one. All right, finally got it lined up. You wanna make sure that you got the synchro or the gear all the way up into the hub. And then you go ahead and press it in until it stops. And there you go. So now we have forward, third gear, and your reverse idlet. Something like this. We're gonna put the nut.
So now don't forget to lock it with the punch. We're gonna make some new ones. There you go. Now we can put the bearing and this thing is good to go. So now let me show you how to disassemble this whole outer shaft so we can install first and second, put it all back together, and then reassemble it on the transmission, and it should be good to go for our friend Tony to come pick it up and install it on his car. All right, guys. So this is the outer shaft. I already took the clip from here off. So you're gonna pray from the reverse all the way out. You got the reverse, you have a little washer on the middle, and then the bearing. So you're gonna press it all three together out. So you got the bearing, you got the washer, and then you got the gear. Then you got the bearing, you got the blocker ring, which is, ooh, this one is burnt. You can see how it's all black. And then you have another clip. So you want to remove the clip. And these pliers are worn out. There you go. Cut it out. Then you get fit and reverse hub and slider. Then you got another. Whoop. Yep, this one is gone too. So we're gonna need two right there. Then you got fifth gear, bearing. Then you got one more clip right here. So take that one out. And now this, we got to press it in, or press it out. Put it on like that. And there you go. Now you have your second gear, which we're not gonna use. You got your second gear bearing. And then you got your synchro or blocker rings, which we are gonna use for second. Then you got one more clip right here. Yep. With the synchro, slider, all the good stuff. Then you got first gear. Whoop. This one is burned. We're gonna have to replace that one too. And finally, first gear, which we're not gonna use. Then you have your first gear bearing, and also this bearing for the first gear. So I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'm just gonna show you guys. Then put this one in. So now I'm gonna find a synchro for first gear, because that one is, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but it's pretty black right here, which means that it's been overheated. So this is not good. It's gonna be really hard for Tony to shift into first gear. It's gonna have problems. So let me go find one out, switch it, and then we're pretty much gonna do the same thing, but back, press everything in and all that stuff. So let me find that and we go back at it again. I don't know if you can see, but you can see the different colors. This one is good, this one is bad, and also
the inside. This one is like really dark, and this one you see how it's brown and looks really good. So this is good. This obviously is bad. You can tell the difference right there. So we're gonna use this one for first gear, and that should be good. So I'm just gonna put this thing like this, and then this one, oops, like this. Then this has to line up with this, and this has to line up with this one right here. So it's a little bit tricky to do this. So what you can do is you can put it on here and kind of line it up first like that, and try to keep it together, and just put it on the gear like that. So it's kind of close. Same thing, you got the line right there and the line right here, and they have to line up with our two holes right there. So let's do this. This one to that one, and the cut is right to the left, because the bottom hole is also right to the left. So like this, you're gonna spin it until it goes all the way in, and now you know that it's good. Then we're gonna put our clip. Putting it in is a lot easier than taking it off, because you have a lot more meat to work on it. Just tap it, make sure it's good. Now, we know second gear synchro is good, or blocker ring is good. It's pretty nice. So now we can just install this in here, and then the gear is gonna sit right here. Don't forget your bearing. Right here. We'll put second gear. Like that, and it's all the way in. Now, we're gonna have to press this thing in. We're gonna flip it like this. We wanna put the outer shaft through it. Just gonna hold it like this. Just gonna put it in there. Put it like right here. Same thing as fourth gear. You wanna make sure that it's in the synchro, because if it's not and you're pressing it in, you can break the blocker ring. So you just wanna hold it. Make sure you don't get your fingers in between the gears, so just hold it in place, and then that's it. One more clip. Then you can go ahead and put your fifth gear bearing. You put fifth gear, and of course I'm gonna have to find two blocker rings, because they're trash. So I need to find one here. I might just use this ones. Same thing. You got the cuts. You want to line it up with the hole. So let me turn it around. So you always have two, one on the top, one on the bottom. So I don't know if you can tell, but this one is a little bit this way to the left. So you want to put this teeth on the cut right with the hole on the top, and then we'll line up on the bottom. So just like that. Boom. Now we have another clip, and this is not the last one. We still have one more. Like that. Then you have your reverse bearing, and now I need reverse. This one's a lot better. Like that. So we have this thing almost complete. So now you got the washer. And this step, I always use this socket and a hammer. It's a lot easier, a lot faster. Like that. If you want to do the press, you can use the press, but this thing sits right on here, so it don't damage the bearing. It's a lot easier. And you can tell when it's all the way on the bottom because the noise change. So now we have the last clip for the whole shaft. And then of course you got the big ones, but that's when you put on the cage. I mean on the case, my bad. Thinking about cages and shit. All right, put it on. Make sure it's all the way in. Look at that. Looks good. So now, all you have to do is do the same thing we did on the other one. You're gonna, oh, by the way, there's two type of forks. This one is like a one piece all together. The one that I did previously to this transmission, it was separate. So it's the same thing, but this one is together. So you're just gonna slide it in like this. Something like that. You have to line up both of them. Like that. Then you're gonna hold them, slap it into the back of the case, put your things, and then put it on there. So let me clean up everything else, and then we just put the transmission on top of it, tighten it up, and that should be it. All right. Now let's put the transmission or the whole gear set into the casing. Already clean it up, ready to go. So you want to put the fork for third gear and for reverse and fit before putting it in. So line it up like that. And then you just put it on. Make sure you have these two holes right here for the fork sleeve or rod or whatever you want to call it. And then your two input shaft or input shaft and outer shaft. Shake it, goes all the way down. Then you're gonna grab the case and kind of bring it up. So like that you have enough space for the clips on the back. So then this ones, you can put it by hand. If you want to use the pliers, you can use the pliers, but you can just put it by hand like this. Like that. Same with the second one. Now that we have the bearing good. Like that. Now you're gonna move the case back so you can put the back place, but this has to be flush with the case. Like that. Pretty much we're gonna do the same thing as the other one. You're gonna put silicone all the way on the outlet. You don't want to go everywhere because you're gonna have a lot of silicone. So round the case, then around the hose, and then put your plate, and then we'll do the thing. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, now we can flip it over. You're gonna install your first and second fork, like that. And then you're gonna install the first and second fit and reverse rod. And you wanna make sure you go all the way down, even. And then of course, your oil tube. And like I say, it's got a little notch. Put it right here. Like that. It's also flush. And then we're gonna do the reverse. So remember, you have to line up this to the pin over here. So this hole is gonna be facing between these two holes right here. So you got the fuel plug is right in between, or this flat part has to be clear on the synchro. So the pin is this way. So you put this on, something like that. And then you slide this one in, like that, right? And then you're gonna put this one in, and you just kinda work it, and it has to be flush all the way down. If it's up, it's gonna hit right here, so you know it's off. And like I say, put it flat, so you know it can go down. I don't think if you put it this way, it hits. So it has to be flush like that. So now the gear set is complete. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put some sealing around here, and then we can put the casing, which is already clean also, put the casing on top of it, bolt it back on, and then pretty much that's it. I mean, after that we had to do the shift selector plate on the top, but you already know how to do that one. So yeah, let's put the case on this and then go from there. All right, you wanna make sure that transmission case is completely clean. That's clean with the new sealant. And now you can pick it up and you're just gonna slide it in all the way down, and then we'll put the bolt in. So you wanna do it this way so you can see the window. And then I'm just gonna wiggle it a little bit. There you go. So sometimes you have a little problem lining up with the outer shaft because, you know, it's kind of like upside down or whatever. But now it's all the way in. You don't have to put pressure. It has to go all the way in by itself. Then now we can just hold it, put it up sideways. And now you can go ahead and put the bolts. Don't forget your 15 that goes in the bottom. It's really important. All right guys, already got everything cleaned up over here. Everything's cleaned up on the gear set. So you can buy these sealing in O'Reilly's, AutoZone, whatever. This one, and it's another one that is blue, or you can always get the Mopar one, and part number is right on the bottom, whatever you prefer. So I put it on here so like that when I put the gears I can put my hands on the case without, you know, damaging the or taking off some of the sealing. So now let's try to slide it in, which is gonna be the hardest part. So you remove the plug or the fill plug, and you can put your finger through and hold reverse so it won't come out. Then after that, you have to try to align the outer shaft and the input shaft, and then trying to make it go in. So sometimes moving the axle a little bit will help. If the input shaft is not lined up, sometimes you can move the input shaft a little bit to line up the splines with the little screwdriver on the top. All right, clutch is pressed. Boom. That's it. You can tell one all the way in. So now that we are 100% sure it's all the way in, we can release the clutch, and now we can go ahead and put all the bolts. Pretty much that's it. I'll show you how to do it in the car. I'll show you how to do it outside the car. Of course, this one has a billet input shaft. The other one was a stock input shaft. So this video will show you how to do the input shaft or synchros or gears, bearings, anything inside the transmission. This video should show you how to step by step. There are a few tools that you're gonna have to buy, and it's a kit out there, a special tool for this transmission. Really nice. It comes with everything that you need, all special tools. But if you want to do it yourself, if you don't have the money or you don't want to buy the special kits, or you can't find them anymore because, you know, it's an 05. They start making a lot of things for the neons. You can do it this way. I mean, you can save some money. It's still gonna work the same. It's gonna be good. So this is the way to do it. Para toda la raza en español, el video pues prácticamente está pues paso por paso. Pero cualquier cosa que ustedes no sepan, pongan un comment ahí o escríbanle o díganos, nosotros los podemos ayudar. Si necesitan si tienen alguna pregunta, lo que sea, pongan ahí en el video, hey, ¿qué onda? Y le contestamos, o nos pueden ver en Instagram también, PJB Works. Mándanos un mensaje por ahí también, cualquier cosa. Y ojalá les guste el video, ojalá les ayude el video. Y pues ahí hagan un like, share, comment y díganos qué les parece. So, alright guys, please like, comment, share. If you have any question, let us know. Again, it's people that does it different. This is the way we do it. Like I said, you don't have to have fancy special tools, yada, yada, yada. You can do it this way, it will work fine. When I use the impact, I kind of know how much to tighten it. But if you need torque specs, of course you can find them. You can torque it to spec. If you don't have a torque spec, just pretty much kind of don't go too hard on it, because it's aluminum, so you would pull the threads. That's it, guys. Other than that, if you want to replace your shift selector or the extended, pretty much all you're gonna do is come to the shift selector plate. You got a few pins you have to pull out, replace this one. This one already has an AGP selector and AGP extender. So I hope you like the video, guys. And like I say, comment, subscribe, like, and until the next time.